Welcome, everyone, to the podcast, the Evercast podcast. We are a group of super nerds that love all things Evermore. Just a quick disclaimer, we are not affiliated officially with them. We are just a group that love to come together and talk about all things Evermore. They call me Sly.
I'm Kazon.
I'm Pitt. Today our spotlight is Mars Squires, also known as Amaranth in Park. She doesn't belong to any guild, but she was a claw rank in the Dragon Trainers Guild once upon a time. She has a tremendous backstory, so make sure you talk to her in Park and get to know her a little better.
So let's see here. Yes, we got an opportunity to do a thing, and it was glorious. So who would like to explain said? You know what? Gentleman in red will be, we'll turn some time over to you to explain to the nice folks what we got a chance to do.
All right. We were invited by Michael and Whitney Colpeters to come sample their wares at Vander's Keep the other night. It was an amazing environment that we were able to go into. We took pictures of the inside of the pictures that are up on the wall. We will be going through some of the food items that we had the opportunity to enjoy. Why don't we start with the appetizers that we had? Pitt, what did you have?
I ordered the poutine, which is a dish from Canada. I know that Evermore has served poutine in their shops in the past because Ken Brett Schneider is from Canada, I believe. And I spent some time in Canada. It's a pretty cool dish. It's usually some kind of like French fry with cheese curds and gravy on top. This one was a black garlic poutine, and they used potato wedges. It was excellent. I know everyone had their own favorites, but I think the poutine was my favorite.
The poutine was really good. My favorite was the one that I ordered, which was their vagabonds. And the way it's described on their menu is fried avocado bonbons. It's what's really amazing is they make an avocado guacamole kind of base. They freeze it, then they bread it, then they freeze it again, and then they deep fry it. And it was amazing. I really enjoyed the vagabonds, the bonbons, everything. Yes, and the poutine was great. We had another couple with us, and they ordered the
portobello mushrooms.
The portobello mushrooms, the stuffed portobello mushrooms. Sly, I know you enjoyed those too.
Yes. It was what is it? 2 mushroom heads that was stuffed with heaven, garnished with heaven, and when you bit into it, it was just. Did I mention heaven? Because yes. And it was actually really neat. As you were cutting into it, it was a really big mushroom, so it actually felt like you were cutting into meat. All the stuff that was in it, the sauce and the various vegetables were fantastic. It was it was good. Just know, as we talk about this food, it's really hard to describe how amazing this food was between the textures, the colors, the taste. It's just, I'm not a technical individual, so heaven.
We also had the fried bread with all of the butters.
Oh, yes. All the butters. What butters were there?
Herb garlic butter. There was a spicy one. What was it?
It was a honey spicy butter.
There was the bourbon butter.
You know that Boss Lady and Boss Man are listening to us describe these things, and they're kind of cringing on the inside. Know that we love you. Just know that the butters were fantastic.
We apologize.
It was just, oof.
I mean, we know what we tasted, and it was amazing.
And forget about putting it on anything, because the bread was gone and there was still butter. And it's like,
yes, Sly ate the butter straight.
Hey, I'm not even going to deny that. Nope. And then, of course, there was just butter at the end. Butter, plain butter.
It was the garlic and herb butter, and then it was the spicy honey butter, and then the bourbon bacon butter, and then just normal whipped butter was the last one that they offered.
Bourbon bacon butter.
Oh, yes. So those were our appetizers. Why don't we move on to all our main courses. And while we were having our appetizers before we go to our main courses, Alice and one of her friends that I didn't know come walking in, and they sit down and they start having a conversation. And our waitress, who was Whitney Copeters, went over there and took care of them while she was taking care of us. And come to find out later on, it was Edith.
And Edith was the wife of Boris. If you remember from like a year ago, he was a villager of Evermore that was like a pig farmer. And so this was his wife. And it turns out that Edith and Alice are best friends, but Boris and Alice are like enemies. They've had land disputes for a long time. So that was kind of interesting. But anyway, it was really nice to have like, the ambiance was great as is, and we should talk more about that. But having characters come in and sit next to us was just so magical. And Winnie and Snicks came in later on, and they took a seat in the corner. The way that I world walk is just hanging out with people. And so to hang out in a place where I'm actually eating and drinking, that's the perfect fantasy tavern experience that I've always dreamed of. There was a time last year during Aurora where the Wolves of Winter came into town, and I was introducing myself to them in the tavern while they were selling drinks, pre-COVID. And I bought them all drinks. And that was a cool experience. So I hope that I get experiences like that in the future where I can like communicate with people through food. That's an otherworldly experience.
It was a lot of fun. I, at one point, had a chance to stand up, walk around, because there was a lot of food. So I needed to let some of that food move around. I got up to take pictures, to appreciate all the light fixtures, the decorations, just the various furniture. It was great. And then started talking to Alice because of that, because she looked at me like I was weird. I have no idea why she would think I was weird. Don't mind me. I was yelling and screaming echo every chance I got to see. It has a glorious echo, guys. An echo. You don't even have to do it really loud. It's just like a echo. And it was like, anyways. So we got a chance to talk. And then in the middle of us talking, Snicks may or may not have mentioned murder, which started a conversation between Alice, Edith, and them. And then we got pulled into that conversation. It was something that felt so natural.
Yes, it seemed very, very natural, very organic just to have them there and have Vander's Keep be part of Evermore. Everything that if the characters come to Evermore and to Vander's Keep while you're eating, you have the opportunity to talk to them, to actually introduce yourself while you're eating and be able to learn more about them while you're there and not just in part. Let's go back to our whole review of Vander's Keep with our main entrees. I decided to go with the Montreal Porterhouse steak. That steak was 23 ounces of pure, amazing, delicious meat. And it comes with potatoes and asparagus spears. It was perfectly done. It was perfectly to my medium rare that I love. Everything just melted in your mouth. That was amazing to eat.
It looked good. And then I had the duck breast. It was covered in some kind of, I feel like...
It was a whiskey peppercorn cream sauce.
So good. I don't think I've ever had duck before. So that was an experience. And then it had heirloom vegetables and rice on the side. I actually really love the rice too. Like that's something that like at a normal restaurant, I just like skip the rice. But it soaked up all of the juices that were on the duck, and it was just so good. Let's see. My brother-in-law, Jared, he had the venison.
What did the lady that was there with us, what did she have?
Railing had she had the bass.
Yes, that's right.
What's the name of that dish?
I'm gonna horribly butcher that name. It's on the bottom of the entree list.
Yeah, I'm gonna murder it too, so I'm not gonna even try.
Wait, hold on. Wait, now I gotta figure out what it is because that's
beer,
Oh, never mind. One of those things.
Blanc sea bass.
Blanc sea bass.
It's the unique Blanc sea bass, guys. What are you talking about?
That was amazing too. It just melted in the mouth.
Yeah, we all shared, so we all got to have a little bite of everyone's dishes, and it was nice to taste everything.
And it wasn't a small piece of sea bass. That sucker was probably about that big.
Yeah, even though it was gourmet, like the portions were decent. And so I definitely did not leave hungry.
It was.
Sly, what did you have?
Let's see, the actual name, full thing was red wine and balsamic hanger steak. Someone's hangry, feed them the steak. They won't be afterwards. Glorious. Red wine, balsamic marinade. I got mine nice and rare, stabbed it. It almost mooed. Yeah, it was good. So good. Then it came with some mashed potatoes, garlic, and all kinds of goodness in there, and green beans that just snapped. Oh, the crunch and the butter. Okay, guys, I need to go back. It was really good. It was really good. It was, I think it was like 8 ounces on there, and it was just amazing. I took like a little bit home. I was able to try other things as well, so I was really full. And yeah, after about a half hour being home, it was gone. It didn't last the night, so just so good.
You didn't share any with your roommate.
Shh. No. I tried. Folks, I tried. I took it home. I was going to let him take a bite. I went to go put it in the fridge. Nope. I did tell him, though, that, yeah, we could gladly attend the restaurant again together sometime this week.
Absolutely. So a few of us had dessert.
Yes. I had bread pudding, which was amazing. It was probably my favorite thing of the night. I really love sweets, and so it reminded me of sticky buns that my mom would make Christmas morning, but it was just permeated with sweetness and creaminess. It was just heavenly.
And then we got a crumbled apple crumble. Is that what it was called?
Yes.
So,
Apple crumble. Mine wasn't so much a crumble as like this heavenly apple cider soup. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it was meant to be that way. I don't know. I just know lots of apples.
slurping it right out of the bowl.
Oh, it was great.
I agree with Sly. It was amazing. The bread pudding. So just a little disclaimer. This is not your Denny's. This is not like a Red Robin restaurant where you go and you spend $20 a plate. This is high class dining. It's not, and most high class dinings are like, okay, you're going to get a little itty bitty portion. No, these are full plates of food, big giant plates of appetizers, it's worth the price. It is so worth the price. And when I heard that it was going to be high class dining, I was like, okay, it's not going to be worth it. But after talking with Michael and seeing the kitchen come together, and after experiencing the food firsthand, it is completely worth it. I don't know, but what do you guys think?
Absolutely. Just having the mood of the environment as well. Like everyone who's watching this probably knows the mood of Evermore as a Victorian town. But this, the people that will be coming here might not have ever been to Evermore, and coming into this Viking lodge hall type designed room that's just huge with an excellent echo, as Sly said, with the mood lighting down low. They were talking about maybe even having like candles on the table. Like, it's just a cool place to sit and eat, and put on top of that the food being so amazing as well. Like it's definitely a place I'm going back to.
They'll have a picture of Vander himself up. So you walk in and the lighting is dim, not like dark, but dim, creating a very intimate atmosphere. The thing about it that I really loved is, if you can imagine yourself in a tavern, you're trying to listen to a conversation the way you would if you're trying to, pick up a quest or something like that. It's easy to do. I may or may not have been asked if I was eavesdropping. And to that, I just simply said, if you're saying it out loud in a tavern, is it really a secret? If so, then whose fault is it for sharing with the world? I'm just saying. And with that, be aware that when you're talking, if you want it to be a secret, tavern's probably not the place for it, because there are people listening. People, not me, never me.
But that gives it like a community feel.
It does.
Yeah.
It sounds weird for me to say this, but just in that moment, there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 of us. But the feel of it was very tavernish. I was being fed. They were being fed. People were talking about whatever was going on in their lives. Interactions were going on naturally. And it was an amazing experience. And it was something that they said they hope to be able to do on and off as long as the various Evermoreans come and go and need food. And you never know who'll be in there from what it sounds like, which will be also an amazing thing.
And the people, if there are characters in the at Vander's Keep, know that your interactions are canon with them. I might have accused them of being constructs at one point, and I was threatened by me. So
Not have threatened Pitt. It was glorious. It's nice to know that I'm not the only one. Pitt, you warm my heart.
thank you. You as well.
Oh, for those of you who go in, make sure you ask all the questions that you can think of about Vanders of the wait staff. Just do it. Whether or not they know, that's another story, but just ask them all the questions.
Yes, ask them about the maps. Ask them about Ursa's mace on the wall. Yes, about Vander. And if they answer really well, or if they stumble over, give them a break. They're all good people.
They're learning. They're not only learning how to be servers, but they're learning how to be servers that have to know story.
Yeah. Well, like we said, please go enjoy Vander's Keep. They're opening next week. Once again, we're Evercast Weekly. And if you'd like to leave any feedback or suggestions, you can reach us at evercastweekly@gmail.com. If you see us in park, come say hi. Thank you.
She may or may not stab us. Cars, right? We're going.
Hands on.
The boss chef who makes everything yummy.
What is his name? What?
Nothing.
Okay. No, don't check us out there. Sorry. Let me try this again.
Cars, to talk a little bit about. Wait. Oop.
I'm Cars. No, I'm Kazon. Blah.
Yeah, see?